Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. For some of you, there is a situation, maybe a repetitive situation that you are confronting. I was looking at the Five of Swords and also the Ten of Swords, so this can kind of go one of two ways. It can be both of these things also. You may be finding that you had been like limiting yourself in some way, or doubting yourself, or not feeling like you could do something, or telling yourself that you couldn't do something, or being like really critical of something that you wanted to do, and like weren't giving yourself the opportunity or the chance to actually pursue something that you wanted, or you were approaching it from a space of fear. This can also be like, just as much as you not supporting yourself, you may have found that happening with somebody around you, where maybe you were trying to work with somebody or trying to work something out with this person, and you felt like there was just, I'm getting something about too much space. Maybe finding it hard to see eye to eye with this person. We're starting off with the Judgment card. So this speaks about wanting to use our critical thinking here when it comes to how we're looking at a situation, to really pay attention to the details. You don't want to be glossing things over. It seems like this is connected with something new that you're starting, or even a new chapter. For some of you, you feel like you've kind of recently woken up or even snapped out of something. Being present is going to feel of the utmost importance. Like really paying attention to what you're doing, your motivations, what's going on around you. This means too, like looking at the stuff that is not always difficult to look at, but it's about being honest with yourself and recognizing what's happening, rather than sweeping things under the rug or bypassing. It's about facing everything. Yeah, I'm getting this. Something may have happened where you feel you can't really turn away from this anymore. Like your eyes have been open to something, or something resonated, or you heard something, or you saw something where you can't really turn away from it. Almost like a lens had been lifted that before you may not have realized was there. And now you could be noticing a lot of things. It's like feeling as if your senses are heightened. Things that maybe you had been doing even automatically before, I'm seeing that not so much be the case any longer. It's almost like before you wouldn't have really realized how automatically you were doing things. And now, because you are so present, everything kind of seems alive, and you're aware of things that before it kind of had been flying under the radar. So something really feels like it has shifted or even jolted from where it had been before. I'm hearing karmic awareness. It feels even like, let's use an example. Say before you were just like eating whatever you were putting into your body, whatever you were consuming, like even stuff that you were reading or things that you were listening to, conversations you were having. And now there's this realization that there is a connection between like what you are ingesting, whether this be like physically with food, or this is with like media you're watching, and also how energetically that is going to then connect and interact with you and your energy and your body. But before, you may not have thought about these things. It's kind of just like you grew up eating this or watching that, and so it was always just something that was done, and you never really thought that there was anything back behind that to really look into further. And now there's more of a conscientiousness with like what you're putting into your body, and like washing your face at night, or whatever it is when it comes to the intention. Things aren't so much automatic before. I'm even getting the sense, this feels like it's going really in depth. I'm even getting the sense of before even feeling like you were kind of autopilot is what I'm getting, on autopilot, but like you weren't aware of that. And now there's this sense of like waking up out and being like, who was running the show before? It's almost feeling like there had been a lot of pieces where you had kind of been like blacked out, not in a sense of losing time. There was a sense of being aware, but almost feeling like something else was doing that. But the whole time feeling like you were the one that was in control of things. But now, because there's a difference of you feeling like you've really, yeah, this feels like an awakening. And before you didn't know, being present now is what gives you the awareness of what had been happening before. But when you were in that like living mode of where you were before, you wouldn't have felt like anything was up. It's only because you're in a different space now, conscious wise, that you can look at that and be like, I was in a much different place. I feel like I wasn't really like aware before, and now I do feel like there has been a shift. And it's not only just noticing things now. With the Judgment card, this means like we're meant to be looking into why we're doing what we're doing, and there's a conscientiousness and there's an awareness of the intention space now. So it's not just about looking at it, it's about figuring out what's right for you and also why you're doing the things that you're doing. It's about getting back behind that and seeing. It's about bringing light, bringing awareness to the way that you're living, the footprint that you're leaving, the echo of your vibration. I will say this too, as much as it can be really amazing to awaken out of this, it can also feel like a lot of responsibility and a lot of pressure. So even though you may be happy, like, hey, I'm awake, I'm aware now, know too that it's normal if you're feeling pressure, like, now that I'm awake and kind of living so much more conscientiously than I had been before, I feel like there's so much responsibility on me now, and at times that can absolutely feel overwhelming. It's normal to feel like that. It's like there are senses within you that have awoken because your vibration has shifted, it has raised, and so now you have access to things that had kind of been like latent or even asleep before. I'm hearing talking us through the awakening process. I am looking at a tower. Something going on with Saturn and Mars in your chart, or even with a transit. For some of you, this happened because of a relationship or something that went on, something that happened. This feels like there's now more of an awareness of where you're trying to go. I'm hearing something about course correction. You may be shifting course. Your course. Okay, so something happens and it feels kind of like, I'm getting like shaking you awake kind of energy with the world and the tower. And then to have Jupiter, this is like a very big expansion, because anything that Jupiter touches, it's going to bring a sense of, the way that I'm seeing this is kind of like there was an awareness before, and when you were sitting within your room, all you could see, feel, and notice was just like what was in your immediate surrounding. And now it's like your consciousness has spread like bigger and wider and higher and further out. And so now there's an awareness of what's happening like on the other side of your building and on the other side of your window and what's happening down the street. And it's just this like bigger connection and understanding where you're even recognizing like the system and the golden thread that moves through everything and connects it all together. How we're all connected. Each and every one of us. And not just with the people, it's also with objects. I'm getting something specifically with lights and lampposts. Maybe you're noticing stuff with electricity too. That can also be something that happens as well. I'm hearing the undercurrents. Okay, so there's an opportunity that's becoming available for you. Something that's happening upon your path. It's like now that you're like spreading out wide enough, it seems like something that you may not have known was there before is now available. Like a door appears in front of you and it's something that you can go through if you choose. I'm seeing it even be like multiple things that you have to choose from opportunity wise. It's just a matter of preference is what it looks like. Yes? Okay. Also too, okay, another thing coming through. The key reason why the Judgment card is out here is because when it comes to these multiple doors that you are opening, Judgment will also have to do with preference and what you feel like is right for you to do within a situation and what you prefer to be exploring and the avenues that you want to go down. When you have multiple doors in front of you, you get to choose which one you prefer. And that's why you being present within the Judgment is so important, because you are going to connect intuitively with what's going to be the right path for you and where you want to be going. And that's why that connection is so important. It's there to help you. It's there to assist you. But you must be present in order to like pick the right door, so to speak. It may feel a little bit challenging, but I'm seeing that you are going to be successful with the opportunity that you take. You want to be using your discernment, and you want to really think about things before you're acting upon them rather than just doing things without thinking about it impulsively. You want to be driven and passionate and also use that in a way that is going to benefit you. Also, too, with this opportunity that you're picking, I'm seeing that a big part of this is something that brings an essence of like grounding and peace to you. It's not going to bring like an upheaval type of energy. Even when there may be chaotic things going on around you, I'm seeing like the way that energetically you're connecting and interacting with this is within a centered state of equilibrium, which may feel very different than how you had been going about things before. I'm hearing this is all new to me. You may be feeling. Yeah, I'm seeing something again about a choice, but it looks more nuanced. It's not like you're walking upon the path and all of a sudden it's like you have to go this way or like choose this color or that color. It's something that's more subtle and ingrained and intertwined with what you're doing. However, it's going to be like invisible unless you pay attention to it, unless you are in a space of noticing, because you're going to understand how like this little choice affects that choice over there, and then it brings that outcome. It's like this whole awareness of cause and effect when it comes to your intention and also your behavior, your vibration, and the choices that you're making, and what that unlocks for you. Like, do I want to go behind this door? Do I want to go behind that door? But it's not going to be like you see these wooden doors out in front of you. It's going to be a more subtle thing that if you weren't like activated, if you weren't turned on, you wouldn't be noticing. But now that you are, you have the opportunity to notice. It can definitely be uncomfortable too, going through changes like this, because I'm seeing some like motions of big transition for you, which can feel uncomfortable. It's very easy to get like caught up in your head about what's going on. Try your best to move with it, to move with the flow of things rather than resisting it. It's going to make the process a lot easier. I'm also seeing a notion of like message or messages coming through, but you have to wait. And also when you receive them, you have to be in a space to translate what they mean for you. This looks like your guides communicating with you. Because I'm seeing Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, above the Knight of Cups. Jupiter represents like angels and your spirit guides and benevolent energies. Okay. I'm seeing something go from a feeling to an action. The cups is more like an energy, a feeling, something even astrally that's forming. And then a Knight of Pentacles is like that becoming tangible, that materializing. So you may actually be receiving a proposal or an offer, like an actual tangible message. It looks like somebody's going to be coming through and reaching out. But you have to wait for it. It's not going to happen immediately. This is something that's going to take a lot of time. I'm seeing a very gradual process that's happening. And to have the Knight of Pentacles and also the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is a slow knight, and then the Seven of Pentacles is like it's in the process of happening. Something is happening, but it's still going to take time because it's not ready yet. It's something being channeled, carried out, built upon, delivered, received. I'm even seeing actually like multiple messages that are coming through, but they kind of have to be stacked upon one another. It's like each message received is a stroke of the brush on the canvas. And so you only get delivered like one stroke of the brush at a time. However, these are all going to build up to something. This is how I'm seeing it. Like, this is going to paint a bigger picture. But these messages are delivered like one at a time. But again, I'm seeing like something is meant to be, there's like a process, like in the process that's happening. A bunch of moving pieces that are adding up to something bigger. And you have to give this the time that it needs to actually show itself, reveal itself. But yeah, I'm seeing these like small things that are all interconnected with one another, and it's leading to something bigger. I'm hearing through the channel. Yeah, we're definitely getting somewhere into something. There is an end goal here of something finally coming together. I'm seeing like different elements or even energies that are coming from different places, like all meeting at one point. And like when it all comes together, there's a sense of like truth and understanding and something becoming very clear and making a lot of sense. Hi. This is O, everybody, in case you don't know. Okay, so there's something that you're deciding about the direction that things are going, and I'm seeing like messages being connected with this. I'm seeing you get help with an opportunity. I'm seeing there be like an offer or a proposal that's connected with this. And then I'm seeing like a chapter be finished. It's like we've now accomplished something that needed to be accomplished, so that's done. And then I'm seeing your guides be like, listen, this is going to take some time, and you want to channel your most like centered, present energy possible, where there are going to be like maybe a lot of things like bouncing around and happening around you, and you want to stay as centered and as grounded as possible, especially when it comes to how you're taking in information, what you're channeling, and to also know that something is going to take time because it is a process. However, we are getting to the point where something is going to happen. It's just not ready yet. And so you want to be able to like maintain the faith and the vision as this is building and as this is going somewhere. So you want to keep doing what you're doing and remain, again, as centered and grounded as possible. Because that's been a part of this process as well, is for you to develop into the place of the King of Cups, where you feel like you have a handle on things and you're just noticing, you're just observing, you're just kind of like riding the waves of what's going on and allowing things to fall into place and move in the direction that they're moving in. Because it seems like all you need to do is just be rocking with the rhythm, okay? The other things are already happening. So this is about like how you're handling yourself, how you're managing yourself. Because it seems like for this leg of the journey, that's what your job is. To be grounded within that energy and to be centered. And so I'm seeing something that is going to take some time, something that's being waited on, but it is building. So something is happening here. Again, it seems like it's like something is going to be delivered to you, we can say. Something is going to like come. The recipe is being cooked right now, and it is going to be coming out of the oven. All you have to do is just wait. But it's not only about waiting. It's like no matter what's going on around you, you have to find the best way to be like handling and managing this. This means what's going on with your emotional response, how you're handling situations. Are you centered? Are you grounded? When you feel like you're becoming ungrounded, are you doing things to ground back and be present again? It's like, how are you handling like the turbulence energetically? I'm seeing this be the focal point here. And then I'm seeing something kind of come to a head, and I'm seeing there be some type of like turnaround, or even it's like a large imprint of energy that I'm seeing, and then I'm seeing like these different pieces all come together, all converging at one point, and I'm seeing things become very clear after that, like even in that moment where maybe things had been hazy or unclear. No, for some of you, this reading may be a little bit abstract or out there, but this is what I'm seeing. So it is being delivered and translated for you. I'm looking at Pluto and Jupiter together. I'm looking at Mars, Scorpio. Mars and Saturn are together, and I'm also looking at Scorpio. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.